The case you're about to view is about the mystery of Dale Kerstetter. This case originally aired on the October 25th, 1989 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. This is one of those unique cases that make you wonder if the person in question did commit the crime, or is he being accused of a crime that he did not commit. The date is September 12th, 1987. The location is Bradford, Pennsylvania. It was a normal morning for Dale Kerstetter, age 50, who was on his way to work. For 27 years, Dale worked at Corning Glassworks as a security guard and a maintenance man. Dale Kerstetter's shift would start at 11 p.m. each day. The night that Dale reported to work, roughly $250,000 worth of platinum disappeared. Dale Kerstetter was never seen from again. Dale Kerstetter was born and grew up in Bradford, Pennsylvania. With the exception of his years in the Air Force, he spent his entire life in that city. Kerstetter was divorced for 10 years. He has a teenage son who lived with him and 4 daughters who lived in Pennsylvania. According to Penny A. Baptiste, who is one of Dale's daughters, she remembers her father as being a compassionate and honest man, that he liked to have fun in his love for the outdoors. According to Evelyn Hansen, who is Dale's mother, Dale is very faithful to everyone, that he hated a lie, and that he never believed in lying. According to Al Kerstetter, who is Dale's son, Dale was a great father. There wasn't a kid who wouldn't have wanted him as a father. In his own words, according to C. Dale Perry, who served as the personal manager for Corning Glassworks, he believes that Dale was a marginal employee, a slow worker, and sometimes someone who management had problems with. But on the other hand, Dale was someone who would risk his life for a fellow worker. One time a forklift rolled under a stream of molten glass, which was pouring onto the propane tank in the back of the vehicle. At his own risk, Dale got into the forklift and was able to safely remove it from the danger before the tank would explode. So you could look at Dale in two lights. His previous issues with the company could paint him as a person responsible for the theft, but then again, he saved people in possible death, so it's hard to determine if he was guilty or not. Sunday morning, September 13th, John Lindquist arrived to relieve Dale. However, Dale wasn't at the security station that he normally would be at when his replacement would arrive. John Lindquist mentions that every time he would come to take over for Dale, that Dale was always sitting in the security station right next to the entrance. John figures that maybe Dale was in the cafeteria. When John entered the cafeteria, he noticed Dale's lunchbox on the table. He moved the newspaper, and Dale's work keys were under it. When he opened Dale's lunchbox, it still contained his lunch. Dale's truck was located in the parking lot. The police were contacted, and they started to investigate the truck. The truck yielded numerous clues to suggest that Dale did not disappear voluntarily. Dale's keys were still in the ignition. There was a full carton of cigarettes, his holster that housed his .22 pistol, and his day pack were all still in the truck. Sunday afternoon, a K-9 unit was brought in to track Dale in the 112,000 square foot factory. Police were concerned that Dale could have had a heart attack or fallen and hurt himself. The dog led the police to the second floor of the factory, which contained the glass kiln, which is also known as the tank. Even though it contained valuable platinum, it was not part of Dale's security route. Kerstetter's scent was found at the tank, but he was not located anywhere in the factory. The investigators then turned their attention to the 3 security cameras that monitor the factory around the clock. According to Patrick Foley, who served as the former personnel manager, he was alarmed because he was looking through the security video from Dale's shift when he came across a section of video that showed someone in a mask walking around the factory. A minute later, Patrick Foley saw something that was very concerning to him. He saw Dale Kerstetter talking to the person in the mask. Upon further examination of the videotape, they came across a realization that not only did they have a missing employee, but also possibly stolen platinum. Patrick Foley believes that whoever was wearing the ski mask had knowledge of the facility because it was late at night. The majority of the lights were off in the facility, and at this time, and that he went straight to the location where the platinum was being held. What everyone finds most perplexing is the interaction between Dale and the masked assailant. They can't tell if Dale was actually being forced against his will or if he was just acting. The most shocking piece of the video is when Dale looked directly at the camera. Was Dale trying to signal for help, or was he flaunting his crime? Dale's daughter Penny believes that her father is innocent. She questions why, if he was guilty, why would he walk in front of the camera like he did? Why wouldn't they cover up the cameras? Patrick Foley believes that Dale is guilty, that this was one of Dale's acts. Wendy Kerstetter believes that her father is innocent. She mentions that if he was going to run, why would he leave his possessions behind? She goes on to talk about how her father was a serious smoker and that he wouldn't have left his cigarettes behind. Dale's daughters believe that Dale is innocent. What they think happened was that Dale was reading his newspaper when he either heard or saw the masked person and he went to investigate. That's when he got into trouble. The assailant, fearing the discovery of his identity or plans, ended up killing Dale. One of the scenes from the surveillance cameras shows the masked man using a forklift to wheel out a large bag. The police believe that it could have had either platinum or Dale's body inside. Evelyn talks about how people tell her to keep up hope, but she's ultimately losing faith. She also believes that if Dale is guilty of these crimes, that he lost his mind. A second theory places Dale at the center of a bold and brazen robbery. One reason for this could be that Dale was happy as a trades worker, that he was recently cut from the trades shop, and that would have been a $5,000 to $7,000 pay loss. He was not a happy person at the time. It was revealed that Dale was $30,000 to $40,000 in debt to various people and businesses. Penny believes that Dale is innocent. She talks about how his children were willing to assist him with money and that Dale had stock in Corning. If he really needed money, he had numerous ways to get what he needed legally. Dale Kerstetter's family is anxious to know if he's alive. They don't care if he's guilty, they just want him back. Penny doesn't care if he was involved. She wants to know ultimately what his fate is. Al believes that Dale is alive as of the time of this video. He believes that Dale is either in Canada or Australia, that he would come back after the statute of limitations has run out. Evelyn believes that her son is wholly innocent. Dale Kerstetter is 5'4" and weighs 130 pounds. He has blue eyes and brown-gray hair. It's probably all gray by this point. He has 2 false upper teeth. If you see this person, please contact the Pennsylvania State Police. Now is the time for my final thought. The final thought is not intended to be taken as absolute fact. Instead, these are just my thoughts about the case you just watched. Wow, this is one of those cases I have to admit I'm not sure if Dale was innocent or guilty. On one hand, you have an employee who saved numerous lives and saved countless thousands of dollars from a possible disaster. But on the other hand, you have a person who lost a portion of his income and was very upset. It's hard to determine if Dale was innocent or guilty. I personally hope Dale was innocent in the theft. If he was, I'm sorry to say, he was probably killed by the masked person. Odds are it was Dale, along with a portion of the platinum that was being wheeled out on the forklift. If he died trying to do the job he liked doing, and his family can rest knowing that he wasn't a criminal. On the other hand, if he was the mastermind of the theft, he needs to own up for his crimes. Granted, the statute of limitations has expired, but he still needs to do what is right. If anything, he needs to do what's right so his family can see he still does have a sense of morals. However, as of the time the theft happened, Dale is 50 years old. Next year he'll be 80. I don't think he's alive. Being on the run takes a lot out of a person. The older they get, the harder it is. So, what do you think about this case? Do you think Dale was guilty or innocent? Thank you for watching this case. If you enjoyed what you watched, please leave a thumbs up. If you have an idea for your future case for me to look into, please drop a comment. And as always, if you aren't subscribed and you like what you see, please subscribe. That way you'll be alerted to when I release new videos. Thank you, and have a good night.